Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly pop culture wrap-up. That's right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is the weekly pop culture wrap-up. It's the show where I go over the week's pop culture news, mostly comic books and movies. Let's get right into it. The 10 Lives of Wolverine, as well as the 10 Deaths of Wolverine. We've already known about this book, but now we have the official solicitation. And what it states is this. Each one is going to be a 5-issue series. They're going to overlap. It's going to be released weekly, starting in January, and it promises to deliver the punch for the second age of Krakoa, much like House of X and Powers of 10 did. Will it? We shall see. Well, it is written by Benjamin Percy, who's been writing X-Force and Wolverine, books that I think started really good, then kind of just got lost in the plot, but I think he's a really cool writer, so I'm excited to check it out. It's supposed to be like Wolverine going back in time to different eras of his life to try to stop the death of a mutant. They promise a new character that's going to be a big deal. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be weekly. It's going to be Wolverine-centric, and they promise that this is delivering the next wave, right? So Lives will be illustrated by Joshua Cassara, and Deaths will be illustrated by Federico Vincentini. So we shall see. It's a pretty solid team, and maybe now in the post-Hickman era, there can be a little bit more of a refocus on what they're doing, and maybe this will provide that and give us a little bit more excitement for those of us whose interest has waned, and add to the excitement for those who are still down. Devil's Reign, of course, is going to have a bunch of tie-ins because it's a Marvel event. Why not, right? But Devil's Reign, spinning out of Chip Zdarsky, Marco Cicchetto's work over at Daredevil, has announced a few miniseries, tie-ins, things like that. They're all going to be starting in January. We got Devil's Reign X-Men. This one's going to be written by Jerry Duggan and Phil Noto. I like the reunification of this team from Cable. I thought Cable's actually a really solid book, so we'll see. Not super high stakes probably in these tie-ins. You won't be fooled again. Devil's Reign Villains for Hire is out in January. It's Clay McLeod Chapman and Manuel Garcia. And then we've got Devil's Reign Superior 4. This is by Zeb Wells and David Tinto. Now, Zeb Wells is a current writer on Amazing Spider-Man, so maybe they're trying to do something here. We also know that right after this, there's going to be a Spider-Man movie in which there is a multiversal Dr. Octopus involved, and it looks like from the cover, this is a multiversal group of 4 Doc Ocks. I mean, that seems cool. Sure, let's check it out. Marauders has an annual coming out with writer Steve Orlando, and this, of course, officially, I believe, from what I pieced together, the start of Steve Orlando's run on Marauders. Jerry Duggan is now on X-Men. Marauders is going to go towards Steve Orlando. The artwork for that's going to be by Kreese Lee. That's in January, and they promise a lot of announcements, probably this weekend, which is New York Comic Con. Probably going to be a lot of announcements for X-Men books that we didn't know at the time that I made this video, but we'll definitely talk about that stuff on Rockin Robbie Live. TKO announces Tales of Terror. What this is those little tiny TKO shorts that were really, really cool. In particular, Seeds of Eden by Liana Kangas and Joe Corallo, and Hand Me Down by Alex Packnadel. Those are 2 really freaking good ones that you're definitely going to want to check out, but if you want to see it more in a larger format, like a typical TKO book, that's going to be available. We also have Craven Eye from TKO. This is by Sloan Leong and Anna Bowles, and this one is about this woman who likes to kill, maim, and skin things, and then she has this other woman show up to kind of be like an assistant around the house, and she brings her own quote-unquote demons in there, and I don't know, it unfurls. I took a look at the artwork. It looks pretty freaking solid. Eternus is a new one that's from Scout Comics. It's debuting this weekend at New York Comic Con. We don't know when the actual series debuts, but it's created by Andy Serkis. And this is kind of like Zeus has been killed. It's set back in like the 300 ADs or something like that. And Zeus has been killed. Heracles is the ruler of Olympus, and then they try to find this new dude shows up or something, and they think he's the guy who killed Zeus, and then they have to figure it all out. I don't know. It's another one of those continuations of Greek mythology, and Andy Serkis kind of creating it and having his say in it. Obviously, something probably set up for some film or TV project, so be on the lookout for that. Be aware and be on the lookout for that one. Then we got Christopher Nolan's got a new movie. It's going to be Oppenheimer. Is it about Oppenheimer and scientists? Probably. Is it about some of Oppenheimer's ideas? Maybe. I don't know anything about this movie, but we do know that Cillian Murphy has signed on to star in it. So that's pretty freaking cool, I think. Hellraiser has finally found their pinhead. It's going to be Jamie Clayton. Not familiar with her work. I looked into her a little bit. She was in Sense8, which I still haven't seen and always have wanted to. And looking at her career and her life, I was like, wow, I'm actually really excited about this casting for Pinhead. That's cool. This is a reboot. It's going to be like on Hulu or something. Clive Barker is back producing it. He's finally got the rights back after some not so good sequels. Now we got some Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. It's a new Resident Evil trailer. It's a new movie. They're going back to the original beginnings of the outbreak. It made me feel nostalgic for the video game. A couple of the shots, things like that. The trailer's odd. It doesn't quite sell me. Like, some of the zombie stuff looks really cool. Some of the action stuff looks really cheesy, like with bad CG. So I'm afraid that there will be some of that bad CG in it. We'll see, right? Okay. But the trailer has the What's Going On song, like, redone. Like, that's the new big thing in trailers, is to take, like, a song from the 80s or the 90s or something and like, make it cinematic in some kind of way for the trailer. And trailer just seemed like they were trying to make this out to be way more epic than the visuals. But, I mean, it definitely looked like something I would want to check out. So there's a new Paranormal Activity movie, Next of Kin. I watched that trailer. It's a Paramount Plus exclusive or something. I have only ever watched the first Paranormal Activity movie. So I was like, you know what? I saw it in the headlines this week, and I was like, you know what? Let me check it out. Oh, it looks really good. Like, obviously, it's not connected to anything in any other Paranormal Activity movie. I don't know if anything is, because I've only seen the first one. But this looks pretty cool. It's about this chick who finds out that, well, she's like adopted or something, so she finds out her first biological relative in this Amish family, and they go there, and then there's like some kind of crazy, like, satanic demon worship thing going on. It looked really cool, really effective, really cool. Of course, last night I went to a haunted house, and I got the crap scared out of me, like, for real. So maybe I'm just, like, on edge, but it really looked good. It really did, really. And then Hypnotic is a trailer. I think it's a Netflix movie. Not familiar with any of the actors or performers in there, but some faces seem familiar. But it's about this woman who goes to this doctor. She's got some problems, like anxiety, and she wants to try hypnotism. And so this dude's like a hypnotist, and her friend recommends his services, and it turns out that he's like hypnotizing these people and like making them, I don't know, like messing with them, making them sleep agents, making them do things like crazy, whatever. The thriller horror type thing. It looked really cool. It was a well put together trailer that kind of got me excited. So I was not expecting at all to like the Hypnotic trailer. I was not expecting at all to like that Paranormal Activity trailer, but they were really freaking cool. So that's what we got for you. What's coming up here at PCP? Well, first of all, we got Dylan's Horror Show tonight at some point, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time. Just keep an eye out. I'll let you know as soon as I know. And we're going to be talking about John Carpenter's The Fog, continuing Horror Fest. That's great. Rockin Robbie live on Sunday night. And then Monday night, I'll be over at The Experience with Dynamic Forces. We're going to be talking about pop culture and comics, and they got some great stuff up for bids and just for claim sales, some great comic books, some great collectibles, things like that. Check out the last preview show because we do have a contest associated with that. So you go to that, you comment on that, you're entered to win that contest. Also, check out the last weekly comic book review because we're doing a contest there too. If you comment on that video, you're entered to win a Red Zone U #2 Tony Fleece Stray Dogs variant, so you don't want to miss out on that. Anyway, lots of cool stuff here. Thank you so much for your support. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Check us out at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts, blogs, and a whole lot more. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Keep on reading. Station.